What's going on, you guys? Toad here. This is blog 97, and I am at Splinter Faffs' place, and I'm here for an event. And there's a filmmaker here that made Fresh Kill. Gonna try to get on this blog and answer a few questions. So yeah, let's cut to that scene. Toad here, guys. I did interview the filmmaker because I didn't want to bother the filmmaker, and also like she was there enjoying herself. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, you, can I interview you?" A strange man with a strange camera. But I'm in the call with Faffs. What did you think of Fresh Kills?
What's up? Hey, I think we got to go back and interview the filmmaker. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
I'm serious. We got to do this. Fresh Kills was awesome. It was like cyberfuck from New York City to like 1993. It was like totally incredible. It had a bunch of famous actors before they were famous, and the production values were incredibly high. It was shot on 35 millimeter. It was like no indie experimental art film I've ever seen. It was totally wild. The soundtrack was done by the musician from Fishbone. It was just incredible. I'd never heard of this film, and it's like really phenomenal. That's my take.
I like how what I'm like. I didn't want to interview the filmmaker because I didn't want to be a crazy person with a camera. I like how you're like that. We gotta go back and interview the filmmaker.
When will we have another chance?
What made you want to get into filmmaking and movies to begin with?
So I grew up in Taiwan, and I grew up in a kind of martial law. And at that time, I don't have that much access to movies interesting movie. So I would always go to embassies or culture council or European culture council like French, Sweden. And so I got to watch all these French New Wave cinema, and it really inspired me. And so that was in my high school. So since then, I have always taken I want to make films.
And what else should do you have any questions too?
Yeah. We were just amazed by your film.
Yeah.
Okay, I sit closer so the microphone will be better.
Okay.
I was. I've never seen an experimental movie that was shot in 35 millimeter, and it was so.
I wouldn't call it experimental movie.
Which word would you use for it?
So as I say, because my film is so like a genre of its own. So this film I call it eco cyber noir film. The reason I don't like to call it experimental, of course, the way of narrative is quite. You would consider experimental, but usually people say experimental seem to be very much about the medium itself, you're trying different technique or something. But since the film has so much issues that we're dealing with, so I don't really want to say it's an experimental film, but it doesn't matter. But just to say, but it is still, you can say that it is, experimental in a way. Yeah.
Me and Toto make movies together.
Yeah.
And something I love about his filmmaking is it's really fun to work with him on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you do your set?
So for me, because I came from, an artist, so I think for the film Fresh Kill, there's a lot of my artwork actually I totally kind of put into the set. Yeah. So even I know what I want to have the set design be, but at the time, usually you still work with a production designer to, realize the whole production part of the design. Yeah.
And I really like what you said. where like most of the cast and probably crew will like from the community.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is important because, of course, we did have an open call to cast some, more professional of them. Is really, people we know. Yeah. But you probably do the film this way, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I get a lot of people from like the community
Exactly.
really, and I'm like, hey, do you want to act
Yeah,
or
exactly.
help out?
Yeah. Everybody can be actor, Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're inspired by
Yeah.
your film.
Oh,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to the next one you
Yeah.
bring here.
Yeah, I hope that they will bring some more films here. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. And good luck with your own film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And back home. Thank you, Faffs, for helping. If you're all watching this, will help. Thank you. Shout out to them. Yeah, I interviewed the filmmaker. They were nice. They were nice. And if you haven't seen Fresh Kill, their other movies, watch them. If I find them on the web, like Amazon or whatever, I'll put a link down in the description. But if not, then the IMDb of the movie that I saw will be in the description down below. So check that out. Right now I'm just home chilling. I'm gonna eat a late dinner and then hit the hay. I'll pick it up on Tuesday because I have an event on Tuesday. Yeah. So I'll see you then. Told you guys, I'm at In-N-Out. You can see I'm waiting for the cast and crew of the vampire movie to show up to have dinner. So yeah, I'll see you on the next scene. Before we continue on to the blog, 95.8% of you aren't subscribed and 4% of you all. So what are you doing, y'all? Hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, and let's continue on. Let's continue the blog. Told you guys in my vampire outfit yet again because I'm at an event called Cybervision. Here's a trailer for that.
In the dark, mean, gentrified streets of downtown Tucson comes a new cinematic experience, unlike anything you've ever seen. From the twisted minds behind Cyberfuck and Double Vision, introducing Cybervision. Cinema from the cutting edge of the end of history. With special appearances, live performances, and more content slop than your double eyes can handle. With an all-new Cyberfuck newsreel, bringing you up close to the front lines of the culture war. This month's theme, Cyber Vampires. Special appearance by the star of the Tucson cult classic, The Vampire Who Loves.
I almost kissed a vampire.
Local filmmaking legend, Antonio Pacillo. And then, undead and live on stage, witness the dark erotic arts of the Vamp Natalia and the Ladies of Lilith. And then, buckle your scream belts for our special mystery feature presentation. We can't tell you what the film is, but it's the best late 90s vampire action film, starring a man wanted by those blood-sucking bureaucrats at the IRS. Go for the jugular, October 10th at 7 p.m. at the screening room with Cybervision.
Yeah, isn't it sick? So get that joy, some Cybervision. Let's get on with it.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
My name is the Reverend Aaron Cargile. I'm an ordained minister with the Universal Life Church, which is a very respectable organization you can find on the internet. And tonight, before we begin our this pageant of sin and movies or whatever, we wanted to do a community service tonight and talk about how you, yes, you, can identify vampires, the blood-sucking undead in your community. Before we begin, I would like to lead us in a prayer. Dear Almighty Silicon Chip, blessed be your name, and please forgive those who are here tonight who have money and do not buy a beverage at the screening room and support their local independent movie theaters. Reed, would you mind muting the telephone, please? All right, well, amen or whatever. Okay, all right, so on our panel tonight, we have a couple of special guests. First, we have Zena Karina, who will be coming up here to join us. Zena is a performer with the Tar Queens, a well-respected, just overall great person, and an expert on the occult. Hello, Zena.
Hello, Reverend.
How are you this evening?
Well, I relish in sin and debauchery, so I'm fantastic.
All right, okay. All right, and our second guest tonight is the local filmmaking legend who is an expert on all things vampires. We have Antonio Pacillo from Toto's Funtime Studios.
Toto!
All right, Toto. So, Toto, you are the director of a film called The Vampire Who Loves, are you not?
Yes.
And you are you know a lot about local vampires, I assume, to make a film about them.
I do.
Great. Well, I think we have a clip from The Vampire Who Loves. So if the vampires up in the booth could pull that up for us, we'd appreciate it.
He eventually found another vampire named Coraline, but then she was killed by humans. So he started to hate humans as he raised his son, Lucas, alone. He'd taught him not to step outside and to speak only to him. That was their rule for centuries. Let's see them and how their lives are now.
What's wrong, son?
I just want to play with the kids and kids. I mean, I'm 200 freaking years old and I'm not dead yet.
I understand, son, but it's much too dangerous.
But why, Dad? Why?
All right, let's give a hand for Toto. So, just so our audience is aware, this was a fictional reenactment, and Toto, you are not a vampire and are not a threat to our audience, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. Watch it. All right, so before we get into vampires tonight, we need to talk about what a vampire is and how to recognize a vampire. So the thing about vampires is we're aware that they are not human and they are very different than us. So Zena, question for you. What is a common sign of a vampire? How if we were to see a vampire outside, how would we know a vampire is a vampire?
Well, Reverend, it's actually harder than ever to identify vampires. It once was the case that very antiquated clothing was a good indicator that someone had been probably living underground for quite some time. But now with the rise of Depop and Buffalo exchanges, it's hard to say. A pale complexion was once a key indicator that someone was a vampire. But with the rise of a Gothic subculture, that has also, not been a reliable source. So it's actually quite difficult. You really should consult an expert before jumping to any conclusions.
Yes, I believe, if I make it personal for a second, I was seduced by a pale-skinned vintage clothes store employee in my college days, who I believe is probably a vampire.
You might have had dalliances with a succubus.
Yes. She probably sees it differently. But and so Toto, if you're going to make a film about something, you have to know it's something. You need to know a lot about it. I assume you did a lot of research and introspection. What to you is something that is easily definable about a vampire?
I would say if you see a vampire, like the bats flying up and then a smoke appears and they're human, then that's a dead giveaway.
That is a dead giveaway. The fact that they can transform into bats, that is classic. We also know that vampires, and we're dealing, of course, in broad generalizations, some of these vampires, I assume, are good people. But the thing about the vampires is that they are adverse to sunlight, as you mentioned. They can only be killed by a silver bullet, a stake. They suck blood. They may come from a specific region of Romania. And so, all right. Well, let's talk about people who might be vampires. So what we're going to do tonight as an instructional vehicle for all of you in the audience is we're going to ask our panel here if they can identify, see if somebody is a vampire. So the first person, as you can see here, is the fuckboy you dated in college and still sends you suspicious messages late at night. Toto, do you believe that this specimen here, and I want to remind the audience that this photo does not have supernatural powers and cannot hurt you presently, physically at least. So Toto, what do you think? Is this fuckboy a vampire?
Just give off vampire types. I would say a high possibility.
Okay, yeah.
Reverend, this is most definitely a vampire of the psychic variety. He is feeding off of your boredom, your dread, the urge to exit the room. If he is sending you SoundCloud links, he is feeding off of you.
Well, that's a good point, because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, like, you were saying, Toto, about smoke appearing, and I do think that American Spirit cigarettes would count as smoke. And, I mean, we see a lot of these people at Owl's Club, and that's kind of a spooky place, right? So, okay, so for your information. All right, so our next person we're going to be asking about is Lisa Frank, local reclusive sticker magnate. Now, we know about Lisa Frank is that she never shows her face in public, and she is reclusive. You have a film event happening here at the screening room soon, if you'd like to talk about it.
Yes, it's this Sunday at 6 p.m., and it's called the Tucson Multiverse Mystery, a sequel to my first one called the Tucson Motor Mystery.
Fantastic. And before we talk to Zena, I do want to thank the sponsors of tonight's event, specifically Citizens Undoing Nocturnal Terrors. Citizens Undoing Nocturnal Terrors have served Tucson a lot, so it's very nice that we all got to serve country tonight in turn. Zena, how can those who are curious about the occult or just generally want to see you perform, how can they find you?
I would strongly encourage you to get in touch with me through Instagram, the almighty ruler Zuckerberg's bastion of morality. And you can find me through Zena Karina. You can find my drag family through the Tarp Queens, TARPQUEENS. And we have a show tomorrow night at Splinter Collective.
This is a local church, place of worship, Splinter Collective, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, well, to my panel guests, I say thank you. You may see yourselves off of the stage. So tonight, very soon you will be seeing, speaking of Sen, you will be seeing a performance by the Vamp Natalia and the Ladies of Lilith. Yes, who are here tonight. So we're going to show a quick clip of that in just a second, but in short, good night, and you're all going to hell. Good night.
So that was that, guys. I was on stage yet again in my vampire outfit. What did you think of this show?
It was a blast. Totally very funny, also very sexy, and also very cool.
I just wanted to say thank you for everything of what you do. Thank you for helping out on my movies, like with filming or lighting or whatever. Like, thank you for helping out when you can.
You're totally welcome. I love working on your movies.
Yeah. Same with your movies.
Yeah, thanks for your help on my movies.
Yeah. Should we show them some a behind the scenes from your movie and a little blooper?
Yeah, let's do a little behind the scenes footage.
All right.
Take it away.
Yes.
So to switch it would be a little disorienting for the most part.
Yes.
So-
But what do you?
But we want to shoot into the dark side of his face, generally.
So he's talking about
Yeah.
But
That's
when
what I
he
mean.
grabs it, he's gonna put it all the way that way?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Well, you know what I can do? I can just drag it all the way this way, make it look natural, and then go get the mirror.
Yeah.
So that way it doesn't look like I'm positioning it. I just take it, and I drop it, and then I go to get the mirror.
Let's try it. And then we have
If you like that angle.
we have this shot over here. What are you thinking, Lauren? You don't like the cord across? Are you seeing that even?
No, we're not seeing that.
Okay. I think this is nice of him.
Okay. Yeah. Because the next shot's gonna be in front of him, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna have that light on his face.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I think so. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
cool. Let's get it.
So when we yell action, I'm gonna move the composition book. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up.
Oh, we cut it right there.
I'm gonna get the lamp. Probably gonna move this back a little, just because it makes it easier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the lamp here, and like you said, I'm determined now. So I put the lamp.
So we want.
It's funny because you gotta put you gotta keep your face straight, right? With your shoulders.
Yeah.
That's
We want a little more of,
yeah, you gotta move your whole body.
of your face and the action in front of you. So let's try one more time.
Cool.
We'll do one more practice run and then we'll
Do it for real.
do it for real.
This is not in here.
Let's try. Take a seat here.
Okay.
What if I come pass it off to you and you're gonna, instead of holding it on top, you're gonna hold it down here. It's me taking a photo of you while you're taking a photo of me. Everyone's favorite photograph. Wow, this light really challenges my camera.
Told you guys, I'm at home. Man, what a long night. Not over yet. This bug is not over yet. Yo, babe. Want to make a joke. But the show that you saw is called Cybervision. You saw it in the trailer, and the place it was at called the Screen Room, where they have short events like they have like events like these that people can rent out, and they have their own events they do, and that place is a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that place is a lot of fun. And I'm tired. Probably gonna go to bed. I am gonna go to bed. It's been a long day. Sick. Yeah. My God. And Sunday I have a screening, which I'm gonna try to blog the screening. And then after that, haunted house. And will be the last scene after the haunted house. Yeah. And also I hope you guys like the behind the scenes stuff with from Faffs' body horror film called Here. It's gonna, I don't know when they're gonna finish it, but it just looks amazing while filming it. If you haven't subscribed to them, please do. The channel will be down in the description. And yeah, let's jump to the next scene. Don't know what it will be. Like I said before in earlier blogs, I don't know what scenes will be next. I'm just going by ear like always. But let's jump to the next scene. What's going on, you guys? Total Heel. I'm at the screening room and I am premiering my own Xenoids Prime's film, the Tucson Multiverse Mystery. It is going to be lit. I'm going to pick it up afterwards because I wanted to save some of the footage for another premiere video. But let's get it on with it. Torio, I'm back from the screening. It was good. Had a good time. I am gonna edit that premiere. I think people will want to see it of what they missed here and there. Anyway, y'all, have a good night. Love you all to death. And sorry if the blog is a little short, or maybe a little long, I don't know. But have a good night, everybody. And I'll see you on next blog. And subscribe.